Hey guys, what is up? Happy to be back with episode 11, part 1 of my golf vlog series, this time at South Riding Golf Club. I had a ton of fun playing this golf course. It was an amazing condition, and the scoring conditions were also very good. It was a little bit chilly, but this was definitely one of the most fun rounds I've ever had in a very long time. Just a lot of attacking pins and trying to make birdies. So let's get into the video. So I teed off about 8 a.m. so it's only about 46 degrees right now, so kind of a little bit slow in terms of speed to start, just because obviously the muscles aren't firing as well when you're cold. So on that first drive I pulled it a little bit left, but I knew I would have made it. I knew I hit it far enough to get it out of trouble, so wasn't in too bad of a position off the tee. And then kind of caught my second shot a little fat, pulled it a bit left, so now I got to hit a bit of a flop shot over the bunker. But I do have a decent amount of green to work with here, so hit it pretty decent chip here. Thought I would roll a little more, but still in good position to get under par right off the get-go here. So I didn't quite get a chance to putt on the greens too much, so I wasn't super in tune with the feel for the greens, but I was pretty confident they would roll at about an 8.5 or 9 on the stimp meter, which is, as I've said before, a pretty comfortable place for me in terms of the stimp meter. So unfortunately I left that one short, but just trying to get a feel for everything, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself on that one. Now onto the second hole. This is a bit of a dogleg left. The trees kind of obscure the green. It's just on that tree line, so you kind of want to draw it in there, and that's pretty much what I did. So pretty good shot right there, just turning it in there and pretty much right where I was trying to hit it. And you'll see here, kind of got a bad break. That pitch mark there landed in the fairway and then it kicked left into the rough, so kind of got to do my best to work with that. Would have definitely liked to have been in the fairway because it would have given me the ability to spin the ball a little more, because the pin was on the front edge of the screen and I was in a position where I really couldn't spin it, so it was going to be very hard to keep it on the front shelf. So just trying to make a good swing with some good feel. And unfortunately I flew it about 6-7 yards too far, and that's just me being kind of annoyed that I ended up doing exactly what I was trying to avoid doing there. And so now I hit it about 25 feet past the hole, and now I got a bit of a comebacker. It's a bit challenging because it's uphill, and then about 2-3 feet away it starts leveling off, so that'll be a tough thing to deal with there, but doing my best to work with it. And there I pulled it a bit, but left myself probably about 3 feet. And so now just trying to make a good stroke. And as you guys have already noticed, I'm sure, I have switched putters from my last round. I've been trying to swing out, and if I keep making strokes like that, I will definitely be keeping that putter in the bag. So 2 decent pars to start off. Hole 3, another par 5, 546 yards, and sound up. So this was probably one of my better drives of the day for sure. Just started a bit right and drew it into the center of the fairway, so absolutely perfect position here to attack this hole. And so now I got a 9-iron in hand, 188 yards to the pin. It was in the back edge, I think. It was like 6 paces off the back edge. I was actually between a 9 and an 8-iron because keep in mind, it's still only like 48 degrees right now. And, sound up by the way. And this was right at the pin. I mean, right at it. And I thought this was money all day long. And this landed on the back fringe and just kicked over the green. And that's just, I could not believe I almost hit my 9-iron 200 yards in 48 degree weather. And so, yeah, that was pretty tough to take. You can see how close that was to being an awesome shot. So now I'm just trying to make a good chip here and just let it filter down to the hole. If I had a little more pace on that probably would have gone in for an eagle, but I will definitely take a 4 on this hole. And so we are off to a great start into red numbers, and we're only 3 holes through. And now we're on hole 4, breaking out the 2-iron for the first time in the round. couldn't be super aggressive on this hole. It was definitely gets very narrow after about 300 off the tee, so I'm just gonna belt this one out there. Unfortunately, I hooked it a bit, but luckily, since I did hit 2-iron, this will stay short of that bunker, so even though I pulled it a bit, I'm still going to be in okay position here. And that's obviously the primary reason why I'm trying to make sure I manage my way around the course better, because if you notice ahead of me 50 yards where my driver would have been is hay, so would have been in a bad spot there. But now, even though I hit a terrible shot, I still have a very, very acceptable look at the green, so I had to put the camera a bit back here so you guys could see the pin. I can barely see it from myself down there. And I have a 46-degree wedge here, just trying to knock it down a bit, make sure it doesn't get away from me. I was being extremely careful here to make sure that it didn't get too far over the green, so I left it a bit short of the pin, probably about 25, 30 feet. It looks like actually maybe 40 feet short, but again, this is me being very careful about going over the green, because I'm always apt to do that if I don't watch myself. So, and there was substantial trouble over the screen, so not a bad leave at all. Very smart leave, and definitely something I've been trying to work on improving is my course management. So what helped with this course, because this was my first time seeing this course, but they had online a little bit of a course tour, so I was actually checking my phone every hole to see what the hole looked like, so that helped things out a lot. So that was a pretty good lag putt from there, and now I just have about a 4-footer to save my par. Once again, just really trying not to worry too much about the hole, just trying to make a good stroke, pretend the ball isn't there. I did pull this a bit, but got a bit lucky with the break coming back in there. So I am aware that I still am pulling the ball a bit. So I've been working with the Dave Pell's putting tutor at night a little bit, and just trying to tighten that up. And I used to work with that thing all night in high school, so I do have a good stroke in me somewhere. I just gotta bring it back. So I believe this was another 7-iron, and this was just left of the pin. This was pin high, and if this was about four yards right, it would have been money, but I pulled it a little bit too much and left myself a pretty tricky up and down here. I know it's a bit hard to tell, but the green slopes tremendously away from me to the left. And so I have the rough was fairly thick here, so I really had to try to get a little bit of speed going through the ball to avoid flubbing it, and I carried it about a foot short of where I wanted to, and as a result, it kicked way right, and yeah, not the best accuracy there. And so I have about 10 feet dead up the hill, and I looked at this putt like 3 different ways from 4 different angles, and it really looked like it wanted to move slightly left to right at the end. So I had this at the left edge, and I was just going to try to make a good stroke on it and get it there. And I had the read. I just pulled it again. And so I am noticing my miss seems to be a pull with this new putter. So that might be a remnant of my old putter tendencies. So I'll have to work on that and try to fix that as I go into my next couple rounds. So now in hole 6, another driver off the tee. Leaked this a little bit right, but it was definitely still a good shot. There's a little bit of room out there that the trees hide. So you see I got it over that, just short of that bunker and over the fairway bunker. So still in pretty good position here. Pin is in the very back edge of the green. These were difficult pin locations. They definitely did not leave the pins cut in an easy spot. So this green has a very big swale in the middle of the green, and then it starts going back up the hill. So I was kind of trying to ride that swale, and unfortunately I left this one out to the right, and it kind of got hung up a bit in the fringe. So not a very good shot from here at all, and definitely need to be a little bit more precise there. And so now I have myself about probably 30 feet up the hill, and you can see what I was talking about. There's a really significant swale, and the pin is on this little back shelf. So, and these greens were a bit slower than I was anticipating, especially with them being freshly cut. So I hit that putt so hard. It's about as hard as I could let myself hit a putt that's 30 feet away. So now I have about a 4-footer left for par, and this looked like a really easy putt dead in the hole, so I didn't even bother lining up the putt. I was like, yeah, I got this, no big deal, and made the stroke I wanted, and it broke to the right. So, yep, that's golf humbling you there for anyone curious. That is what it looks like. When you think you got it figured out and you got an easy putt, you miss. So, dropped a shot there, pretty stupid 3-putt, and 1 over par. Dropped 2 shots on the last 2 holes. So now, trying to change the mojo up a bit. Pin is just over that bunker, and hit a really good shot here in terms of the line. Pulled it just a bit. Did mishit it a little bit too, but there was a little bit less spin on it, so it did still carry pretty good. This just got to the fringe, so would have liked it to release a little bit on the green, but obviously from 215, I'll take a 20-footer just off the green all day long. So I really felt like I had a good read on this putt, and I was really in attack mode on this putt here, because I definitely wanted to get one of those shots back. And when I get a shot back on a par 3, it definitely feels good, because I have always struggled on par 3s. And, yep, I left it short. I know, I left it short, and I got to stop leaving birdie putt short. I'm working on that. And I think as my stroke continues to improve and my confidence with my putter improves, I think that'll correct itself, because I think me hitting it short is a symptom of me being not very confident with my comebackers. Now, hole 8, par 4, and you'll notice it's only 345 yards. And this was, and I know I messed up the shot tracer a little bit on that one, but the ending position was right on the money. And so you can see the pin just left of that tree line right there. There's a couple trees. And so this landed on the back edge of the green. You can see the pitch mark right there. And it actually ran through the green. So there's the hole, and there's the tee back there. So when I hit this, I was like, oh, this is money. And you'll notice, if you recall, the club speed is a little down on that drive, because I was actually trying to take a little bit off of it. So now, this is a lot more difficult of a chip than it looked like, because from my vantage point, it really sloped away at the end, and absolutely beautiful shot here in terms of the touch, and you can see how fast that was around the pin. So, got that shot back there and knocked it in with the wedge. Hey, maybe I should use my wedge as my putter at this point, right? So, now I'm on to hole 9, level par, 2 birdies, 2 bogeys, and the rest pars, and 474 yards, which, by the way, is the longest drive I've ever hit in competition for a long drive. And absolutely melted this one. Just a perfect drive. Well, not a perfect drive, a little bit right, but when you're hitting on a 475-yard par 4, goal 1 is to make sure you put a good move on it off the tee, and that's what I did. And I was about 5 yards off the fairway here, and really awkward lie. It's hard to show in the camera, but I really was off balance here. I had a very, very weird side hill, uphill lie, so I was just trying to make good contact here and worry about the rest later. And I pulled this pretty bad, but luckily, since it was from the rough, it wasn't going to get much spin, so it couldn't slide too far left or right in the air. So this did still hang on in the green. I actually thought I'd be chipping. I brought a wedge up, but was pleasantly surprised that it actually held the green. So if anything, I got to look at birdie now. So got about probably 25, 30 feet up the hill, trying to make a good run at it to get in at 1 under on this side. And I pulled it a bit left, but not a terrible putt in terms of speed. So, have about 3 feet left here, so I'll just walk up here and brush it in. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.